stand. And the title of my book would be Life with Superman. That's how you make me feel.
Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Today we are doing chapter 2 of a series we are calling Same Book, Different Chapters. Today we are going to be sharing with you guys about how we were staying together at some point before we got married. My name is Letho, and this right here,
put the other hand, man. The whole
is
thing,
my husband.
Man. The top.
The top, the bottom, the side, and the other side.
Do the whole thing.
This is my husband, Mbulelo. He's going to tell you more about today's video. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. We are now approaching 1,000 subscribers. So thank you to our viewers who are always viewing our channel and commenting on our videos. We love you guys and we appreciate you. And if you are new to the channel, please join the fam by clicking the subscribe button, which is 100% free. You're not going to be charged and you are going to be helping us reach 1,000. So please click that subscribe button, and thank you as you are clicking right now.
Yeah, and that is true. And if you are a returning subscriber, please do the right thing. You've been here, you've been watching, this is the third video you are watching of ours, and you are not subscribed. Please do the right thing by clicking on the subscribe button. But let me speak to the ones that are here for the first time. I just want to quickly introduce who we are so that you get to understand what we do and who we are. So this is Mbulelo and this is Letho here. But I normally introduce myself as Mr. Chamtiladai, the leader of the new old school, chairman of the winning team, and man of integrity from the highest house of society. And in this channel, we love God. We are a married couple. We love God. We love love. We love life, and we love laughter and adventure. All the videos that you will find on this channel are inspired by one of those, by all of them. So if you enjoy that kind of content, please make sure that you subscribe. Don't be a permanent visitor. But I do want to commend the people. You know, the stats at the moment are saying that more than 50% of the people that are watching our videos are subscribed. That is crazy. So thank you. So today we are, well, this whole month we are in a series called
Crazy Fate.
Okay, you almost got it right, but it's called Same Book, Different Chapters.
We are in week 2 of the series. We're calling
Crazy Fate.
Let's go for week 9 of a series we're calling Help Me.
Yeah. So our series is called Same Book, Different Chapters. And the reason why we called it Same Book, Different Chapters is because the same love story between myself and my wife, and we've been through different stages of life through the grace of God, and we are still here. The journey continues. So it's just different stages that we are narrating. Just like last week, we were talking about how we dealt with long distance. Maybe my wife can just recap what we spoke about last week.
Yes, guys. So last week we were talking about the early stages of our relationship where we were dealing with long distance, and we made it work.
In just 3 weeks. The relationship was 3 weeks. So, yeah. So
the relationship was 3 weeks, and then it was long distance. Finally, I got a job in Johannesburg thanks to my husband who helped me find a job. Which is why
you have to do this all the time. You're paying me back.
Wow, it's so easy. Thank you. Thank you. He helped me find a job, and then he had to now help me find a place in Johannesburg. So he's going to tell you about what he did and what he looked for, and so on and so on.
Okay, after now we had sorted out the whole job thing. She secured a job. She was going to start in Jan. I did the work off because I was already around Johannesburg, and then she was back in KZN. And one thing about Johannesburg, you need accommodation to find accommodation. So she didn't have the accommodation.
I was in KZN.
Yeah, she was in KZN. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to look around. And obviously it was to my advantage so that I can find a place where I can visit whenever I want. Well, depending on the availability, because now you can't just rock up just because I found you this place. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's why you are called church. And then... And then, yeah, once we found it, we spent a lot of time together because I was working just about 8 minutes away from where she stayed, you know, which was, so one of the reasons why I actually chose that place was that it was close to where I worked, and it was actually close to where the Gandhi Square, where you take buses to your workplace. Yeah, so I was like, okay.
He even gave me his the card, the bus tag. I didn't even have. I didn't have the bus tag, so he gave me his. Guys, Mbulelo was so helpful.
Yeah, I still am.
You still are, baby. You are.
Okay, so now she's around. It's good times, you know. We happy. After work, I can't, like, I'm looking so forward to after work. I'm even singing, and then I pass by. I'll pass by with the intention of still going home, guys. Sometimes I feel once I get there, I'm so tired. All of a sudden, I can't make it home, and it's not even like I'm walking. And then I'll be like, I know, I'll just go in the morning because obviously I didn't bring clothes to change for the following day. And then I'll wake up very early with, the next day. I'll take a shower, then drive home. I was staying in the east, so I'm still going that direction. And then I'll get home, and then I'll be like, hey guys, hey, how you? Did you sleep well? I'm still here, I'm still alive. I'm just here to fetch my clothes, and I'm out. But then now I'll be like, you know what? Whenever I'm fetching my clothes, I'll take an extra item of clothing so that just in case I don't come back, I don't have to drive all the way here to change. That continued. It started with one day and one night, and then it was 2 days, and then it was the whole week, and then on Saturday we'll
go home together and then come back together on Monday.
We'll come back on Monday, and then we continue with our thing until it got to a point where I got my own place, because I was in the process of getting my own place, which was bigger. And then after that, I was like, okay, babe, now that we've been doing this thing here, how about we go to a bigger place? And then she wasn't really comfortable with it at first, because I mean, it didn't really seem official because I still had my own space and then she also had her own place. So now it was gonna be more serious. I was gonna move into his apartment. So it was very like, oh my god. And my family, and my family was like, I know my family was gonna say no, it's not gonna happen, you're not married yet. So I called my family, and to my surprise, they were more worried about our relationship. They wanted to know, are we not going to fight if now we stay together? I'm like, no, I just wanted to tell you guys in case there's something that you want to say about it, and if you want to say no, then you can say no. But if you guys, that's all you worried about, our relationship lasting after we move in together, then well, it's fine. Yeah, you know, the things that we put our families through sometimes, because they're thinking that, hey, this person, it seems like she loves him, and it sounds like he's a good guy. But maybe because it was way too early to be even. So early. It was way like it was immediately when I moved to Joburg. I felt like there was never a point in our relationship where Mbulelo was staying at his own place and I was staying except for when I was still in KZN and Mbulelo was still here in Johannesburg. So it was a long distance and moving in immediately. So it felt like we jumped a step. And then when we were staying together, obviously now we are staying together doing things that married, like we were staying together as husband and wife. We're doing everything that married people do. I was cooking, he was paying the bills, and yes, we were having sex during that time. Just in case you were wondering. We were having sex, and we were doing all the other things that married people do when they are married. And that's when now we started facing some difficulties in our relationship, because now we are married. Obviously, married people have issues. Exactly. But sorry, babe, you were saying? No, you can continue. Married people have issues, but at least they were prepared and they have people to speak to. Now we are here, we are married, we are never prepared for anything. First of all, we don't even know each other that well. Because I mean, it was a long distance, and then this person is in your space the whole time, and we never spoke to anyone, we never got counseling. We just jumped right into it. And then now those things were starting to show you. It's getting to learn the person, like, okay, oh, so she's like this, she's like that. So those challenges came up. It was so challenging. Our relationship just faced
I don't know what to call that stage in our relationship, to the point where we decided, you know what, let's go to therapy, because we really wanted our relationship to last and to work. We loved each other. That has never been a question. So we decided to go to therapy. We went to therapy. It sort of worked.
Yeah.
You know, it worked for...
But the thing is, with therapy, it's like it's like incubating the relationship.
Yes.
Like you can't breathe on your own. It always has to be like, it's
There's
like
gonna
giving
be a
the
point where it
oxygen
just
where-
collapse.
Yeah, so it's like having those crutches, and whenever you remove the crutches, the relationship collapses.
Yeah.
So it was not sustainable. So we had to find something that was sustainable.
Yeah, and as you guys, I don't know if you have seen if you knew, you haven't seen our other videos. There is a video where we do mention that I got born again at a very young age. So I was going to church. After I met Mbulelo, I was still going to church, but Mbulelo was not going to church. He hadn't been to church in about 10 years or so.
I was in the streets.
I was going to church on my own. So after we started therapy and we could see that it was not 100%, Mbulelo said, let's go to church.
Yeah, I was like, let's try it out.
Thank you, Jesus. I didn't believe him. So we went to church. That's when our relationship now started to take shape, and the issues that we were facing in our relationship were starting to fall away one by one. And as we were going to church, there is a church camp that I attended. I went to the church camp.
So before you go into that channel, I do want to highlight that I think what made the transition sort of easier is the way we were received at church, like the way, like they were so loving.
I'll forever be
and
grateful for that.
And they were genuine, and everything else that they did, like they were very supportive. So I think the transition for me was really easy because of that.
We were not rejected when we got to church. They welcomed us, so it was very easy. So we decided that we're going to come back because we were welcome. We felt at home. So I went to a church camp. That's when now, because at church they always say, if you stay with your man, you need to move out. Yeah, guys, kungena apa, kupume apa. I'm like,
they know.
You're not talking to me. This one is not for me. I'm like, nope, this one is not for me. And I didn't feel guilty or anything or ashamed. I was like, guys, like if you really want to move out, then you can move out. I mean,
own accord.
This man is mine. God has given me this man, so I'm definitely not moving out. We're gonna get married at some point. So why delay it? So why now start afresh from the beginning? So I decided that we're not going to move out until I went to a church camp, where now after that camp, that's when I started feeling like maybe I need to move out. And I made a decision to myself. I told myself that I am going to move out. When I go home, I'm going to tell him, my boyfriend, Mbulelo,
That's moi.
I'm going to tell my boyfriend that I'm moving out because I don't want to live this life anymore. I have chosen a different path. So it doesn't involve me being your wife. Wow. A wife without a ring. A wife without a husband. Yeah, so I told myself that I'm gonna tell Mbulelo that I'm moving out. I made that decision, but when I got here, it didn't happen. I was like, I just came with excuses. I told him, which
was very strange. I think because I didn't understand what was going on. I just felt like I don't know what the hell is going on at that camp. It's just, but I don't like it because you can see when someone is avoiding you, and you're like, come on, we're used to doing this thing for years, and all of a sudden you're coming up with excuses.
I'm like, I'm on my period. Okay, no, I'm sick, I'm not well. So I tried to come up with excuses not to have sex, but eventually we ended up having sex, and I tried to forget about that whole thing that happened and that commitment that I made.
It would feel so different. I would actually feel as well like I could see that, you know what,
I was not this person is not here anymore. And then you went to the same camp.
A month later I went to the same camp because I wanted to see what the hell is going on. This person goes there and then they come back, they have a bag full of excuses for not having sex. I can say that I had a very life-changing experience as well. But my first experience wasn't about sex. Maybe it's because the camp is about empowering you in different areas of your life, with unforgiveness, with family issues, with past trauma, and all those things. And also unlearning a lot of things, like about anything. It empowers you. It's over the weekend. So you deal with a lot of topics that we are struggling with as the human race. I came back. I was still fine with going.
I was hoping that he's gonna come back and say, yeah, I think you should move out. But he was...
I was still like, yeah, now that we are back from the camp. But there was a lot of things. I don't want to discount the value of the camp. But you know, when you've set your mind to say, no, this part I'm gonna deal with myself. The other ones, God can deal with them. But this one, I'll handle it.
It's mine.
Yeah, it's mine. And then it came back. We still continued until December. We got to December now when we had to go home. We went to KZN, and then I went to the Eastern Cape.
So I went home in December. When I got home, that's when I remembered the commitment that I had made to myself at the church camp. I was like, hey, I didn't move out. So I made that commitment again. I told myself, come January, I'm moving out. I'm not going back to that life again. It's not for me, and I'm not going to put up with that Letho anymore. So I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna tell my then boyfriend that, listen, I am out.
You are a hindrance in my life, so I have to move away from you.
I told myself that, oh, you are not a hindrance, babe. It's such a bad word. I decided, good, see, I'm gonna tell Mbulelo that I'm moving out. Come January, I didn't tell Mbulelo that I'm moving out again.
But what you were doing, you were busy forcing down things on my throat, telling me to watch sermons about about purity and Megan Good and the husband and the book that they wrote.
I was like, baby, you need to read The Weight. It's such a good book. You need to read it. So I didn't tell. I wasn't straight up with Mbulelo. I don't know, maybe I was afraid of losing him. I'm not sure, but I just didn't
that's
feel...
another pressure that comes with that, you know.
So I didn't feel 100% with telling him that I want to wait. So I was like, maybe God can just speak the same thing that he spoke to me, to him as well. But now our relationship was fine. It was fine. We were going to church. Things were now happening in my life, like my career, my friends, my family. Now it was just my life. My relationship with Mbulelo was perfect. Now I had my own things to face, and I just felt like I was in a storm. I remembered, I was like, oh my God, Jonah was also in a storm, and I felt like I was Jonah at that moment, because I remembered, Jonah was told to go this direction and he went that direction.
The other direction.
So I was like, you know what, I didn't do what God had told me to do. So I felt like, oh Tiko, this is why I am in this storm in my life. So I started reading the book of Jonah.
Hey, you read that book over and over.
Read it.
I remember.
I read it, and it's such a short book, so I will read it.
But it's very interesting.
It is. I'll read it maybe 3 times a day, because I just wanted to understand. So what happened to Jonah? Did God forgive Jonah afterwards? Because I remember Jonah was complaining a lot at the end, but I was like, but what happened? Did God forgive him? Because now I am in this storm, because I know exactly God told me to do this, and I decided to go my own direction. So what I learned after reading the book of Jonah is that Jonah was told to go to the city of Nineveh to tell the people of Nineveh that God is going to destroy the city because they have been misbehaving. So Jonah decided to go his opposite direction. But the story for me was not about Jonah. It was about the city of Nineveh, because after they learned that God is going to destroy the city, they decided to ask for forgiveness, and God forgave them, and they started afresh and they were renewed. That's when I was like, you know what?
Preaching good. Preaching good.
This is when I was like, God, I am asking for forgiveness. Give me a second chance. This is now like towards September, and Mbulelo's faith at that time was also growing stronger and stronger. So I didn't have to force down sermons on him now. Like his relationship with God was on steroids.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say steroids, but I had my own personal relationship.
Yeah.
So I wasn't relying on people to now be the ones that are saying do this, do that. I remember I was the one sometimes who would recommend certain sermons to you and say, please listen here.
Yo, by the way, guys, Mbulelo watches a lot of sermons. Like, he'll watch a whole series in one day and be like, from part 1 to part 5 in one day. He loves sermons.
Yeah. They spoke to me, and that's the time, because now, as you were busy like battling with your own things there with the Jonah story, I was also getting slowly I started thinking about this thing, because obviously when someone keeps on talking, and at that camp, by the way, there's something very interesting that I chose to ignore. One of the guys showed me it wasn't an SMS, a WhatsApp message from his lady that they had been having sex with.
Yeah.
And then that lady, so this guy wanted to wait. The lady wasn't so sure. So he also was in the same situation where he didn't want to present this option. He didn't know what to say to her, because she was going to be like, I know, when I'm leaving you.
Out,
yeah, I'm out. What the hell is this? Well, you think I'm going to wait? But that lady is the one that actually sent the text to the guy and said, no, I think we should stop what we're doing and we must wait.
Amazing.
Yeah, which was amazing. So now there was that, and then there was you busy doing all this. And then I started getting curious about it. I was like, you know what? Why should we wait? If you are able to have sex, like you find someone now and you have sex with them and you enjoy it, what's the big hoo-ha about? Because I tell you, even in our communities, they'll tell you, no, don't have sex, but they never tell us. There's a lot of things that they say they are wrong, but they never really tell us exactly why it's wrong. So I got so curious. I was like, you know what? There must be a reason as to why. So I started reading books. I started reading the Bible, and then I got to understand as to why God says that we must wait. And one of the things is that if you want now to take a different route, you can't be in the same space. I don't think that's possible. You can't be. So I think the whole thing of saying do not stay together comes from that, because they know that if you're staying together, possibilities are that you're going to have sex. And then that's what led me to say, okay, I came to you. I remember I'm the one acting as if now it's my idea. I'm like,
I think we should wait.
I got something to talk to you about, man. Let's sit down. I hope you're not going to cry. And then I was like, listen, God spoke to me and God said to me that we should wait.
Yeah.
I
think this is why it is important for me it was so important for me to get married to a man who is a man of God, because I know that man will never lead me astray, and God can speak to that man as the head of the home. Then obviously all I have to do is what do wives do? They obey, they submit. I have to submit.
Submit your assignment. So now I was like, listen, God told me. And as much as we are laughing about this, guys, it was actually a serious thing, because on the 1st of September, so we sat down and we were like, you know what? Maybe we should try this waiting thing on the September.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, on the 1st of September. I still remember. Yeah. Which is why we actually chose to do this series on the 1st of September, because there's a lot of things that happened. I went to the camp in September, got born again in September, and then we decided to start the journey. I personally didn't know how it was going to work, but all I knew was that this is the time to start afresh and see how it's going to happen. And I trusted God was going to carry me through, because there's a scripture that I believe so much in. It's actually a scripture that I dreamt. I was asleep and I didn't know the scripture. I had never heard it anywhere else. Well, I had heard it, but I didn't know where it was until I dreamt it at the actual verse, and which says that that's Philippians 4:13. It says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So I was like, you know what? Christ is also going to see me through this one. I don't know how it's going to happen.
And mind you, at that time, Mbulelo had already paid Lobola.
Yeah,
Lobola was
I had
done.
already paid Lobola in May. This is September. Yeah, we're gonna wait. I'm thinking I'm halfway there. All I need to do is to go back and pay, and then this is my wife. But then we're like, nope, we're gonna wait. Now the waiting also meant that we have to speak to our mentors, because we had mentors now. We were trying to really get our lives together. We had mentors, and it meant that one of us was gonna have to move out.
Yeah.
1st of September, we decided we'd go and speak to our mentors to say, listen, this is what's going on. We hadn't really been transparent about this part, but this is what has been going on. We have been staying together and we've been having sex, but we are deciding to do this thing. And they're very encouraging. They said, yeah, no, you guys can go ahead if that's what God said to you. And we actually commend that, because I remember one of the mentors, he said to me, listen, your marriage depends on this. I know you're thinking that you are getting married next year, but this is the journey that you want to you want to partake now, because your marriage depends on it. You don't want. He even, yeah, it was deep, because he said, as much as I don't want to call it a sin, but the Bible says that it is a sin to to have sex with someone before marriage, and the one that you sin with is one day gonna sin against you. So I was like, whoa, okay. And then he said, yeah, listen, you guys can take this journey. It's gonna strengthen your marriage. Your marriage depends on you, because one day you're gonna travel overseas, and this person she
I'm gonna be sick.
Exactly.
Then,
what's gonna happen?
There's gonna be no sex.
There's gonna be no sex, and then someone is gonna be tempted to go outside and look for sex somewhere else. So that is when we decided to say, okay, you know what, this is the journey that we're gonna have to take. And another thing that strengthened me was the fact that even in the Bible, as I was saying that I was reading a lot in the Bible, it does say that when you know better, you do better.
Yes.
You know, so it's fine when you don't know. God takes that into account. It actually, I'm just gonna read the scripture here on the phone. It says, if you sin, this is Romans 2 verse 12 to 13. It says, this is the Message version. It says, if you sin without knowing what you are doing, God takes that into account. But if you sin knowing full well what you are doing, that's a different story entirely. Merely hearing God's law is a waste of time if you're not going to act on it. Now I was like, okay, I have to.
Deep.
Yeah, it is deep, because even 1 Corinthians 13:11, it says, when I was a child, I spoke like a child, I did things like a child, but now that I'm grown, I do things as such.
Now you have grown in faith.
In faith, yeah. So that's why we decided to
wait. And mind you, guys, it's not like our sex life was horrible and we decided, good time, we're gonna wait because
it was bad anyway.
It was bad
anyway.
So, but waiting came with a lot of benefits at the same time, because
there were challenges as well.
There were challenges
and benefits.
Yeah. At first, it was easy.
It was a breeze. First 3 months.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them about the first 3 months?
The first 3 months was a breeze, because obviously now.
We should have done this a very long time ago.
Can do this thing with my eyes closed, man. But first 3 months now that's up to December. So it's September, October, November.
Yeah.
And then December we go and finish Lobola.
That's when after Umembeso.
Yeah. And then when we came back from Umembeso, Icon, you are thinking, this person is practically my wife.
Yeah.
All that is needed to be done now is we were just waiting for the date, and then we go and sign and we're done.
Yeah.
Hey, the challenges came.
No, it was not easy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Waiting after you have tasted the fruits, and then now you decide I'm not gonna eat this fruit anymore, when you know exactly how nice this fruit is.
At some point I didn't think it was possible, and before September I didn't think even when I saw that text to that guy, I was like, no, this is madness. Maybe,
it's not possible. But it is. It's possible, guys. That's what I want to tell you. It's very possible. If you want to do it, you can do it. And also for us, it made us grow stronger in our relationship in Christ. Especially for me, there was a point where I would have sex with Mbulelo and the guilt was just too much. It was overwhelming to the point where I felt like I can't pray, I can't read the Bible, especially with prayer, because I would feel like, do I really want God to listen to me when I have been having sex, I've been sinning, all along? So I just felt like my prayers were not even worth of being heard by God. So I wouldn't pray, I wouldn't fast, I would just read the Bible there and there, or I'll listen. What I used to do, I'll just listen to worship songs, but I wouldn't pray, I wouldn't read the Bible. That's how bad it was. It affected my relationship with God. So when we finally made a decision to wait, that's when now our relationship with God grew stronger and stronger.
Even our relationship, like the friendship was stronger, because understand this, as we mentioned, that our relationship jumped from long distance to moving in together. So there was that stage. So it was like moving back to cover that gap, because at some point it was gonna come back to us. At some point, one way or the other, we're gonna have to deal with it. So when we dealt with that, it felt like, you know what, now it's like it's a solid thing that we have here, because you know that we've covered that base that has always been exposed. Okay, with that being said, we are gonna jump right into comment of the week and notification gang shout out. And the notification gang shout out goes to Angel and Sangweni. She's back again. Yeah, she's a regular. She was here last week with a favorite comment. Now she's in the notification gang. Let's see if you're gonna beat her on this
on this video.
Yeah.
Okay, and my
favorite
comment is from Zimki Tamyek.
Yeah.
Nyek.
It's Miek. There's no vowel at the end, so it's either Mieki or Mieko.
Okay, all right. Her comment was, no, guys. Guys, niyonwabi isagodwa. Thanks ngale video. I can't wait for next week, and next week is here now.
Yeah, next week is here.
Letho, please, I love your makeup. Wenzenjani, please. It's simple. It's not too much. Thank you.
Thank you. Really, really, really appreciate. And then my favorite comment of the week comes from Ichoko Pule, and she said, me thinking of saying to my, so you're gonna, to understand the context in this one, you're gonna have to have watched the video from last week. She says, me thinking of saying my phone is broken to my partner just to see his reaction. You guys are awesome. Mbulelo looks like someone in the United States, but I'm not sure who. And then I replied, do you think Morgan Freeman perhaps? Guys, we appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment, and do all the things. Share it with your people. It might just help one person. We love you and we appreciate you. We out of here, man.